our awkward, like, let's start this off some way, somehow.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey y'all. I feel like it's been a while. I don't know why.
It's literally been an extra day, but it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah.
We've been busy? You've been busy?
We've all been busy.
Well, before we get into, let's keep it real quick and find out what we've been doing. My name is Daphny Emily.
That's true. And I'm Eerees Eerees.
And we are Soulful She.
And we are two bodacious beauties from Brockton, unraveling our truth on identity, on mental health, on fashion and empowerment through conversations from the soul.
Yep. And coming in today, before we really get into our topic, we always start off with keeping it real quick and what's really real in our lives right now. So, keep it real for me, guys.
Keeping it real quick. Wow, sheesh. Keeping it real quick. It has been a lot of ups and downs. Ups because since the couple last episodes, I remember what was resonating with me was pouring into my own cup, and I have been doing that, which is beautiful. But at the same time, life does hit you with different things that are going on. And my cousin passed away last week. He was found dead in his apartment, and it was not fun to hear. And on top of that, the news was broken on the day of my mother's birthday, which did not sit well with me, and I can only imagine it did not sit well with my mother, because I remember a few days before her birthday, she was speaking with so much joy and so much excitement for this birthday that was coming up. So then to get ready for that day and then that news to hit, she had to stop that enjoyment to be strong for her sister. And then it meant that I had to be strong for my mother. And it has not been easy, but I have been able to still find joy in the days. So that is being real quick.
First and foremost, I'm sorry for your loss. We had talked about it, but we haven't really gone in depth. And with these times, just situations like that, it's just sad. And I'm sorry for your family, and hope you guys work on the coping and sending so much love.
Thank you.
Keeping it real. Have I been laying low? I mean, we have no choice. There's not much to do. And I'm not out here trying to be at all these cookouts. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those, like, antsy people right now with Corona, but at the same time, I don't need to be seeing, like, 300 people at a cookout right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense. In that case, I just would have went on my trip to Tulum, which honestly I should have, because everybody's there right now.
Really?
Yeah. Every time I'm on Snapchat or Instagram, someone's in Tulum, and I'm like, whoa, must be nice. No, but I've been in a great mood. It's September 1st, so when you guys see this, it's definitely not going to be September 1st, but right now it is. My favorite month of the year, of course, and it just brings very much positive energies, positive vibes, even aside from my birthday being in a few days. Even aside from that, September's always been one of my favorite months. Just the weather is nice, and then it's shifting, and fall season is one of my favorite, like, clothing seasons.
Yes.
I've been in just a very happy, positive place. Things that are not so happy come up, and I'm just like, I'm still good, I'm still grateful, and I'm happy. So
hey,
yeah, I'm in a great place.
I like this. Yes. I like this mood. I like this joy. I like this lack of FOMO, because you internally are doing okay.
Yeah.
And so you are not looking for external reasons for either validation, joy, or happiness.
Not at all. And I've been hitting the gym again and going hard. Like, days have been amazing. My booty is sitting lovely. But just keeping that going feels great. It's just, that's something that always helps me, doing that, eating healthy. I talked about it before. It's just, especially the eating healthy part, which it has been off and on. I've been cheating here and there, but you know, naturally starts feeling better when you're really taking care of yourself. Yeah, I'm in a great place. So
I like this a lot. So, moving from let's be real quick, we usually go to conversations from the soul. And just a forewarning that this is episode 9, which we're super excited about.
Right.
But that also means that this is the episode before the last.
For this season, though, we'll be back eventually.
Yes, that is true. Thank you. And it being the almost last episode, we thought it would be good to really sit down and reflect on what the year was, how it was for us personally, what were some intentions that we were putting out into the universe, and reflecting on those intentions and how it is and how you are right now.
And honestly, it's about where we expected this year to start and where the year is for us now.
Yeah.
And then honestly, the expectations from here. Especially with me, my 29th birthday is in a few days, and
when specifically?
September 5th. So
Virgos.
we don't have to say too much. We don't have to say too much. But no, even with thinking about my birthday, I'm excited. Like my last year before my 30s, I'm excited for 32. Everyone else is like, oh, I'm 30. I can't wait to be 30. I don't know why. I'm just in a great mood. I've been saying it for the last few years that I can't wait to be 30. Why? I don't know. I just feel like the older I'm getting, even with things that haven't gone so well, I'm just ready to keep elevating in my life and doing better and doing more and growing. So, yeah, we're going to talk about basically what we thought 2020 was going to be,
Seriously.
Our intentions for 2020, what happened in the middle, because, a whole mess of things has been happening.
Seriously.
And then being really real about it all. So
Yeah. 2020. What were you expecting? And I guess this is a good question because I'll be very transparent and say I don't fully remember everything all of my intentions that I was giving to 2020.
Same.
And so thinking about what I wanted to happen versus what has happened, it's a difficult question.
Yeah. I can jump in, I guess. I can remember some things. Like, I don't remember everything, but I know leaving 2019, many of us were just like, 2020 is here. It's a new decade. Starting fresh. What were my intentions? My intentions were, working on myself, working on my happiness, growing in this singleness and being single, and like being single as hell and enjoying it.
The way you said that,
yeah.
Being single as hell.
Enjoying that, and then growing with Soulful She and us building this and getting this going. That's pretty much probably the gist of it for me. Like, it's just really working hard on Soulful She. I even wanted to work hard on social media and do more with that, more in the fashion sense too.
I remember that.
Yeah, I wanted to, but as 2020 began, started working out, got in a good place, then Corona hit. And that, everything kind of flipped, and we had to kind of all stop.
Seriously?
Yeah, so for me, like, 2020, it's a lot of, like, it was just a lot of, now what do we do? But we can't really do much. So just trying to cope and work through it. So, yeah. I don't remember other than that, and other than really working. I mean, one of the biggest things was really working on Soulful She.
Yeah.
And really working on getting this going, and like our intentions and the planning behind it, and really making sure that when we put this out there, it's something that we really poured ourselves into. And then, yeah, like I said, I was like, I'm single. I'm going to try my best to be single. I'm going to try not to deal with the fuckboy shit, because I don't like these men. That was my intent at 20, the start.
Of 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's different now. So much different. It's so different now. It's definitely not expected. I mean, even when Corona happened, nobody expected that. I was supposed to go to Portugal. I was supposed to go to Afro Nation, even though I never paid for any of it. So, like, I don't know when I was going or how I was going, but, like, it was in my intent of doing.
Yeah.
Travel. I was like, I'm out here. Single.
Doing these things.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say, as you were talking about like some of the intentions, some ideas were popping up, and then also the imagery of my vision board also was popping up, and I also was trying to remember what was going on with me in January of 2020, and I had just started a new job that I had, because before I did not have a job. So I think my mindset of 2020 was like, girl, you need to get these bills paid because a job needs to be here immediately. What else was I thinking? I was thinking about focusing on working on my intuition. I was really focusing on just working more on fundraising. Like, I'm trying to like envision my vision board, and it was a lot of like deeper intuition, time for healing, working on different projects, such as Roxbury Sunflower and Queen's Talk and all of these things. And the more I'm looking at my vision board, the more it's like so many things are different in so many different ways. I definitely wanted to travel. I thought I was going to be taking road trips.
We were supposed to go to LA.
Oh my gosh, yes!
We were supposed to go to Afropunk.
Yes. We were supposed to do a lot of traveling, a lot of different adventures.
Miami.
Yeah, because these were supposed to be trips that were going to help us with Soulful She, but then at the same time professionally. Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right?
How we set out what to do and the world says,
I think y'all need to chill.
We got this actually for you.
Right.
But yeah, I think that was a lot of stuff that was going on in my head. I feel like I can only think about, so the vision board, I can only think about what's going on here. I can't think about what's going on right here. But I just know we had a lot of plans.
We did, and they were literally set in stone. I mean, the hotel was reserved for Afropunk 2 weeks in a row because we didn't know the date.
Yeah.
Because it was like the book now, pay later, so like we could have canceled whatever. A lot was planned. I'm not mad at it not happening.
Yeah.
Which I guess I'm happy about. I'm not mad that things didn't work out the way they were supposed to. I mean, Corona's been horrible, so like I would never wish this to happen ever.
No.
And just with that, and not just Corona, but then going through the process of, I felt like it got from a point of envisioning the future to really focused on the present and surviving the present, and really not thinking too far out, and maybe reminiscing on the past and how things were so lovely. And I was ungrateful, but and then with the police brutality and all that happening, and then going through that rush of all these emotions of being Black in America, was really hard. It's still really hard. I think when it was so heightened a few months back, it's still heightened. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but a few months back, it was just a lot at once. At this point, we've been a few months in, so we've allowed ourselves to cope and find ways to deal or find other outlets to work in this realm, but it was a really hard time mentally.
Yeah.
Especially trying to work from home, trying to figure out how to use lesser resources.
Yeah.
Not knowing what's happening soon, not knowing what to do, and then now we're sitting and all we can do is be on social media, and now we're looking at social media, and it's giving us everything we don't want to see. You know what I mean?
More. Yeah.
And it's just the reality of the world that we are in, and then just having that in our faces full time.
Yeah.
Because we can't be out and about, and having to cope with that and deal with that, and also be motivated to want to do more, and then what can you do, and trying to figure out, especially for me, like, how can I do more? How can I do better? How can I make people accountable to work through this racial injustice? And like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I just hearing you talk, it's making me think of like, with everything that was happening, what was a very crucial lesson that you learned during this time. And if you don't mind, I definitely have an answer for that. And the number one thing that I took for all of this moment is that, like, I'm not needed as much as I thought I did, which I think is important to come to the realization. And it's not in the sense of, like, I want to be needed, but just more, I was always not under the impression, but just I was always the type of person that if I can say yes, I will say yes. And I think that this time really showed me that, like, saying no is perfectly fine and actually necessary. Because the amount of things that I was able to let go of during this time, it surprised me because I thought I was letting people down, but in reality I wasn't, because other people stepped in and allowed the projects to flourish in such a different and beautiful way. And it made me just really look at, like, me stepping back can give space for someone else to step up. And I loved seeing it from the different initiatives that I stepped back from. And it also showed me, like, I'm really not needed, in a very positive way, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You don't have to put yourself in every situation
at all
because you feel like you have to do it.
Yeah.
I've never been that type of person. Or have I? No, I'm not. Like, if I don't want to do it,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've talked to you about it a lot. How every time I'm around, it's like, so you got a meeting for what now? And I'm just sitting here like, so you're having a meeting for another project?
Yeah.
Do you sleep?
Thankfully, I don't have lots of meetings anymore. It's beautiful. But what about you? What's a lesson that you have taken with you and are going to continue to take with you that you've learned within this 2020 session?
Interesting. What am I going to take with me? I think it's just, I've always been big on perspective and understanding, and that's been a big deal lately, or since everything started. So just really being understanding that there's other perspectives. Also being patient with myself and knowing that, like, even if I'm not jumping for a cause at the moment, doesn't mean that I'm not doing any good. Just, for me, I'm understanding that we all have a purpose, and I'm working on finding my purpose. And if something doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it because you feel obligated in the moment. Like, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
That is not, no. I can do as much as I possibly can. And mentally, understanding that, like, if my body's saying, you don't want to do this, then don't. And then also, another thing I did in 2020 that I've learned is, jump and talk to that person that you feel like fits the mold for whatever you're trying to do. So for me, not being afraid of reaching out to someone I don't know and being like, hi, I'm so-and-so and I do this, or just talking to more people. Because again, can be shy sometimes. So pushing myself in a way that I getting to know people slowly but surely at my pace, but allowing conversations to happen and being involved. And I think with COVID and all these, like, online meetings, so many online events, so many online lectures, that it gave the opportunity to see these people that work in these spaces that I think are amazing, or work, like Creolas that work for the country and or Creolas that work for mental health, and just being in spaces, to be in rooms, not physically, but I probably would have never been there if it wasn't so attainable on social media. Yeah. In these rooms, to listen to these conversations, have these conversations. So I've learned to kind of put myself out there, and I appreciate the fact that I've had the opportunity while being at home to be able to meet these people, talk to these people, and keep working on myself. Also learn to give a lot of love to people. And more. Yeah, I think this year I'm not one that likes to reach out to people. It's not that I don't like it, it's just not unnatural for me. I don't just hit people up. But every time I notice that someone's going through it or something, I always send a little bit of love their way, and it's a few people this year. And just being like, I might not know you so well, but I just want to let you know this, and that you're amazing. And just giving and sharing love and positivity, because we all need it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I feel like lately through social media, I've just been seeing people say, like, you know, love on each other, give each other love, just share, because right now there's so much going on that is something that is needed, and you really don't know the battles that other people are going through. You really don't know what other people are going through. So, like, just giving a little more love each time, because you honestly have no idea. But I love what you're saying of just, you know, getting uncomfortable, being uncomfortable, you know, putting yourself in spaces that you're not used to, because you know that it will only help you and be fruitful for you. Giving love to others, like, I love all of this. I love all of this that I'm hearing from you.
Yes, so I'm going to try to keep this going as always. I like to compliment people when I see them. Or like, you know, like if especially Black women, if she's glowing and flowing,
She will
always
know.
Yeah,
we will let her know.
Always. What did we do before? What was the last fun thing we did before Corona? It was the R&B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went to the House of Blues, and it was, what did it call?
It's I love R&B only, or I love R&B.
R&B only, I think.
Yeah.
At the House of Blues, and it was just a room of people there to have fun and listen to R&B music. There just was a DJ there, and they were just playing R&B music from so many decades.
Yeah.
At first, we were kind of in our corner. We were drinking that tequila and stuff, and it was just me and Eerees. We just wanted to be out there. We wanted to have fun. We wanted to dance, and then we made our way to the center of, like, the floor at the House of Blues, and then made friends. And from there, we were just like, let's do this! Just dancing our lives away, having so much fun. Yeah. It was so much fun.
Yeah. I remember that day, that night, and I am just super, super happy, because that night was not supposed to happen.
No.
That night was not supposed to happen, and
when did you get the tickets? Like the day, or like...
No,
right
that's the thing. Like, I got the tickets... That's the crazy thing. I got the tickets like a month in advance, and was like, Daphne, we doing this. We're gonna, like, have some fun. And then something came, and I had to, like, reschedule, but then something else happened, and it wasn't fun. But the universe is intentional in every way. And thankfully I did not cancel them, and I was like, Daphne, let's do this.
That's true. And we did. It was fun.
Yeah. We definitely need another one of those.
Yes.
Just because I think that the comfortability that we had of just, you know, we are going to enjoy ourselves, we are going to have some fun, we're not going to care who is looking or what is happening around us. We are going to enjoy ourselves.
Right, and that wasn't even this year. That was, I think, in December. Was it this year?
Was it?
I was a lot.
No, it was, because it was in January.
Okay, it was like the start.
It was literally the start of January.
Alright, because I was like, I was definitely like 15 pounds lighter at that point. So, like, I know this was like...
No, this was the beginning of January.
Yeah.
Wow. Starting January that way?
We started it lit, too. We were like, 2020!
And then February happened.
February, we made it to March. And, yeah, that's funny. It was a great time. But I guess for me, thinking about, like, the intentions we had this year,
yes,
I always think around my birthday, there's always, like, a word for my next plan for my next year.
Okay.
And the word of the year for me was intention. To be intentional, to set things in stone and actually get things done. That was my plan for this year. Last year was to be understanding. So it's really interesting how that was my phrase for the year, to be intentional, but I feel like I have been.
You have been.
I think we have been very intentional, and it just shifted in ways that it made us focus more on ourselves.
Yes.
And I think it's been a lot out of this. When we all get out of this, is going to be a lot of learning about ourselves.
Yeah.
For me, I know I've learned a lot. I've really understood, like, I was in a situation I shouldn't have been in, and I knew I shouldn't have been in.
We all know.
A situation, I guess. And then for me, it was like, I knew that wasn't for me. I shouldn't be doing it anymore, but still going along with it. And then once that finally ended, everything started falling into place and like manifesting positively. And I think the universe was just like, you can't, until you get yourself out of this, especially that you know this is not something for you, until you can move out of this, nothing else is going to happen, because you're clearly not trying to be... Yeah, you clearly don't care. You clearly want to keep messing up when you know better. So it's like, until you know better and actually do better, it's the doing better part. So finally getting to the point that doing better, and then kind of jumping to be out there and more conversational and talk to more people and meet people, has definitely changed the course of the rest of the year for me. So question, from everything that's happened and the intentions we set forth, what has changed, that what wasn't planned but has happened that's been positive in your life?
From the intentions, what was not planned but is positive?
Yeah, happened and it's positive.
I feel like a lot though. Like a lot. I think starting off from what I've mentioned before, saying no, and letting go of not letting go, but just giving space for me a little more, has been very, very good. And it has been positive, even though I didn't look at it as a positive, because again, I'm always the type of person that like, I need to stay busy. Another thing was, heartbreak. Heartbreak was
I feel you.
Heartbreak is actually a positive, because that's the thing, like, a quote that I probably have already said in this podcast before, of just someone gifted me a box of darkness, and not until later did I realize that too was a gift. Heartbreak was a darkness gift that I'm grateful for receiving. Very, very grateful for receiving, because I don't think that I would be where I am right now had it not been for heartbreak. And I know that we talk about, like, you know, if we can give an advice to a young person, what would it be? Not realizing that, like, sometimes we do need to make our own mistakes. And we need to troubleshoot and fall and really hit ourselves against the wall.
It
really hurt ourselves. And it's not fun for other people to see. I can just imagine. but it will only help for the future. And I think that it has been a positive, just because I am putting a lot more intentionality on my worth, on my space, on my solitude. I think that's another thing, another positive of, I didn't realize that I would be enjoying solitude so much. These all sound like they're not great, but
I don't hear anything negative.
seriously. And also being open-minded. I feel like I am open-minded, but I feel like I'm really stretching the boundary of open-mindedness. And in such a fun, positive way that I like it.
I love it. We had a lot of commonalities going into this year in terms of how we were entertaining people and putting ourselves to the side a lot.
Girl, I feel like we were going through it at the same time.
We were going through it at the same damn time. We sitting having conversations to each other and giving each other advice about things that we can't even listen to ourselves. And it was literally like, I'm giving you this advice, and by the way, I should be listening to this too. And just us giving us that room to keep messing up And I think I really appreciate from all of it having someone that really understood and also allowed me to be and wasn't judging me on the fact that, like, you know better.
Yeah.
So do better.
Yeah.
But, like, Eerees, I fell for it again. Girl.
Come here. Let's talk about it.
A whole lot of that. It was a whole lot of, like, I'm trying, but damn it, I fell backwards a few times.
Yeah.
And then finally getting to the point that it just had to happen.
Yeah.
Forcefully. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that.
What? I will say same. Because I feel like we definitely... I don't even know why I'm tearing up. Wow.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
Is it like a breath of fresh air?
I guess so. I don't even know why I am tearing up. This isn't a tear up moment. But yeah, I felt like we created a good space of, like, we are here for each other. We are not perfect.
Not at all.
I don't know what's going on with my tears.
Let them flow, girl.
Seriously.
You ain't wearing makeup.
Seriously, that's the best part. No, but yeah, like, just, I think that we're always in such a space where, you know, we want to make the best decision, but we were allowing ourselves to be present in however we were. And yeah, damn, sorry.
4?
Nothing. I'm not sorry.
You've gotten better at that, actually.
I,
at the saying sorry thing. I don't think I've asked you that for a long time.
But someone else did tell me. They were like, I need you to stop saying sorry. And I was like, damn, but I thought I was doing good.
Well, it's still a work in progress.
Yeah. But no, I think, again, just reiterating what you were saying, we were authentically ourselves. And we were able to do it in such a way where, regardless of what was coming out of our mouths, we knew we were not going to be judged. We knew that we had someone to hear us, but also really empathize because we were going through the same thing. In such a like, yes, these are the mistakes that we are making, but we are only human.
Yeah, for sure. Girl, it's been a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
It's been a roller coaster ride, and at this point, it's so interesting at where we are at. We are nowhere near where we started this year mentally.
No.
And perspectives, how we're dealing with people. I mean, nowhere near. I mean, I hated men. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want nobody to bother me. Don't text me. Don't call me. Don't nothing, because I don't like none of y'all.
Boy, bye.
Join a dating app, because, you know, I'm like, let me see what's out there. I want to go on dates. You know, I just want to go on dates. I want to get to know people, and then all of a sudden I meet somebody, and all of a sudden that's my boo, whatever, and now I'm here.
What'd you say?
You be watching too. Our first date, he's like, I watched all your episodes of the podcast, and I'm like, so
what am I supposed to tell you?
So what are we supposed to talk about now?
Because
like,
you already know everything.
And now I'm sitting there like, so I don't, how do I start this? Like, well, what was your favorite episode? Like, at this point, I don't know. And just basically, that was really funny for me and really threw me off. I sat there and I was in awe of the fact that, like, okay, like,
he's watching.
I really appreciated that he watched every episode. I thought that was really cool. And then I was also like, but now, like, what do I tell you?
Seriously, because you kind of already know a lot.
Yeah, and he said that. But just that progressed in such a great way, and I'm in a happy place in general. I'm just happy.
Yay.
I'm just happy. I love the people that are around me. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. And in terms of intent from this point on, is to just live and let things be. That's my intent right now. Just being positive, keeping positive energy to other people, not letting people get to me, still working hard on the things that I believe in, but letting things be, enjoying my life, because honestly, if you haven't learned anything this year, you learned that life is not forever.
At all.
It's not forever. You don't know when that day will come. You don't know when you're going to lose the people you love the most. So really cherishing all of that.
Every single moment.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of that this year, that a lot of people couldn't even celebrate the lives of people they love because of Corona, and just having to mourn at home and still have to. It's definitely a lot. This year has been hard mentally for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I literally am like thinking back that my grandpa died for 6 minutes because they were under the impression that it was COVID. They were able to bring him back to life. He was in a coma for like weeks and is good now, but like from hearing that your grandpa died to like he's not doing good to like he's good to the Black bodies that have died and that we've seen on camera and just blatantly disregarded in such a way that like you're vividly seeing that this isn't unfair, but somehow, some way, like some of these men that have done these brutal things are out here in grocery stores getting whatever it is that they need for their home and are able to go home to their family, to like, you know.
So much justification for killing Black people. So many excuses, so many racists out here. I mean, it's that in itself has been insane this year. I've always known there's been racist, but just the blatantness of it is very much supported by the person in the White House right now. And I guess another intention for the rest of this year, get this man out.
And I like that intent of just get this man out. I think that what I am gonna just reiterate again and again and again is that like getting this man out is not gonna stop everything that's going on.
Absolutely not.
So just thinking about like, yes, you know, right now the temporary goal is to get this man out, but after you get this man out is making sure that these policies, making sure that the people in Congress, making sure that the Senate, making sure that the Supreme Court judges, you know, making sure that a lot of the people that are behind the scenes that we don't pay attention to are also being removed or pressured in such a way, like Angela Davis said, you know, some people are less than evil, but it's not about less than evil. It's just, can we pressure the lesser than evil to be able to get the things that we need done that someone else, like the Republican Party, won't let us do. Right. So just making sure that, yes, right now the goal is to get Trump out of here, but we also need to remember that, like, you know, paying attention to our city councils, paying attention to our mayors, paying attention to our chief in office, like everything from the inside all the way to the outside to like the news outlets, like we really need to start, you know, paying attention to the jobs that some of these people are taking and doing, and really start questioning them and start making people set like accountability. It
was like on my tongue the whole
time.
Like, being accountable.
Making yes accountability for human decency, because that's the thing. That's what we're asking for. Like that's the thing. Like we're not asking for, I would love $1 million. I would love to be living in, you know, beautiful, gorgeous mansion and all that jazz, but we're asking for human decency.
Basic human rights.
Basic human rights. And that's hard to ask for.
It's not hard at all. Oh, it's hard for us because we have to ask for it, but it's not hard for them because they don't give a damn.
Because it means that giving us human decency means that we're taking privilege and power and control away from them. And the minute that they lose that control, they're already insecure, as in general. That's the only reason why we have been growing up in such a way where we're socially, like, curated as young kids to degrade ourselves and to belittle ourselves in such a way, because they're already insecure and they know that they aren't as good as we are. And so you need to put someone down and dehumanize them so that you feel, so that it's easier to put yourself on top.
Right, and that you can easily just go through day-to-day life, not worrying about anything that you have to do, walking into the room with your head held high and not having anything on your resume to hold for that, but being the fact that you are Caucasian or a Caucasian male, and I can just walk in here and this is normal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never have to question that. I'm already smart even though I'm not, like, that kind of mentality. And that's why they have to put you down, because the less they do, the more they still get for it. But a lot of us really work hard and keep pushing, and we're still pushing, constantly pushing to do better, and they don't want that because they know that once we take a hold of it, we run this shit.
But all of that being said is knowing that in 2020, this has always been in my mind. Because again, I move in such a way that, like, I'm paying attention to how people are moving around me, how people are around. I guess, like, there's covert racism, and then, like, very blatant overt racism, but then there's also covert activism and overt activism. And I've always been the activism that, like, you don't see behind the closed doors, and the in-your-face activism has been shown out in this world right now lately because of everything that's been going on. So hopefully this will only ricochet intention-wise for all of us to continue to really be intentional about what does activism mean, and what does really being about the word that you say and the things that you want to do, and dismantling racism, white supremacy, just all of that is definitely more in the forefront than for many new faces than it was before. And so hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers that it continues to be a wave that will only help us out even more.
I agree, and I think that the way it's been going in it's just names and names of people. There's just people that we're still losing, constantly losing. So it's a fight that's still continuous, and we're still going to continue fighting. That's really it, is we're still fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely agree about being more of a covert activist and being very self-aware and always very understanding and knowing my environment in the world that we live in. I've been very much about that, and I've always been very quick to check somebody. So just keeping that going and educating ourselves and doing better for ourselves, and really, like you said, holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Holding people accountable. I voted today.
I haven't yet, but I will.
Oh, you got time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got my sticker in my car. I'm going to put it on my laptop. But there was, like, nobody there, which I honestly went at, like, 9 a.m. So, okay, people are working, whatever. But, yes, voted today. We have to keep voting. Our votes count as much as we
don't think.
As much as we don't think. We have these voices. We have these votes. We have to do it. It is our obligation. It is our right. And being raised by immigrants and being raised by and surrounded by a lot of people that can't vote, you hold that power, and it is a power that you do have. And you might feel like you're one person, but you, as that one person, are of value and are helping to shift things for the better for all of us. So.
Yeah, vote. And I used to hear this a lot of just like, oh, my vote doesn't matter, and like, when someone says that, it just makes me remember, like, people were lynched for going to register to vote.
Mm-hmm.
Why would someone go out of their way to kill and lynch other people because they were going to go to vote? You're telling me that, like, that doesn't mean something? And then even till this day, there are policies and laws put in place that stop other people, even till this day, from being able, voter suppression, from being able to actually vote. So you're telling me that our vote does not matter, but they're actively making sure that we are not going to the polls. They're actively making sure that we do not know what's going on so that the right people are actually going out to vote. Not the right people, but like certain
who
people.
They want.
Yes, who they want will go and be readily accessible to be able to vote. So it's just like really thinking about, like, for those people that say my vote doesn't matter, please look back to our history. Please look back to our history and think about the many times that people were stabbed, killed, like threatened, so many and much more for just going out to register to vote.
And kind of keeping this kind of going, but shifting a little bit.
Sorry, I definitely went. We went into.
Sorry for what?
Our intentional tangents.
I don't even like the word tangents, but anyhow, moving forward and kind of continuing from this point on and kind of closing off on Conversations from the Soul. What intentions do you have still set in place that you originally had, and what new intentions do you have? To close off the rest of this year, because we are in the last few months.
Yes, we are. So one thing that I started off was really being in tune with my intuition. And I think that I'm taking this on and continuing it with me to many, many more years to come, hopefully. But really, truly aligning with my intuition, being in tune with my intuition, and listening to it in such a way that I have no worries. Because I know that, one, the universe, and I've known this before, I just lost track, the universe will never guide you the wrong way. Mm-hmm. The universe does never has bad intentions for whatever it has in store for you. And so really coming to terms, remembering that, but then also, because I need to remember that, also remembering that my intuition will never guide me astray as well. My intuition will always have my side, and so taking those with me and re-sparking them back into comfortable space with myself is something that I want to take with me when I started 2020 and take with me to 2021.
Okay. For me, just enjoying my life and the people that are around me. Working on my self-love and self-care. Going to rearrange my room this week and clean it up and all of that to put it in a vibe that I'm going to be happy with, to just kind of refresh. But for my intentions, a lot of it changed, but I don't think it's so much changed. It just was recentered around different points of view and things that I want to accomplish. Just the goals that I had are switched up a little bit, but just remaining to work on being happy, positive, and just living and allowing life to happen. And that's where I'm at right now. And that's my intent from now on. Just being and being happy and sharing love.
Whoa.
Unlearning all that shit.
Yes.
Unlearn it.
Yes, and yes.
And just learning new things and breaking cycles and all of that, but just being and being happy. So that's my intention for the rest of this year. Yeah.
I like it. I like the unlearning shit. Specifically because we've been learning a lot since we were younger, and as we continue to become older and wiser, we are learning that everything that we did learn might not be something that we need to take forward with us.
Absolutely.
And so I completely agree with that. I completely agree with positivity. I'm also going to be taking that with me. I also agree with self-love. I'm also going to be taking that with me, and all of it. I'm here for all of it. And moving on to stepping into you, I think this is a very easy segue of just intentions that we started with. How have they changed, and what intentions do you want to move forward with? Are some of the very down to earth questions to think about for yourself. Of just, we've spilled a little bit of our intentions. We've spilled a little bit about what we thought what we thought things were gonna be, and then we also appreciated what happened, and then also thought about what we can move forward with. And sometimes an intention that you had started with might not be something that you take forward. Maybe a new intention comes into the ether, but just thinking about that. What intentions did you come into 2020 thinking? How did that change? And what intentions are you going to be taking with you into 2021?
Word. And as we work on ourselves and stepping into ourselves and continue doing that work, and quickly shifting to fashion forward, another intention is when we do season 2, having the time to really put into more of these segments and do more and be more interactive. Especially for me in fashion forward, like, it's something I am passionate about, but with everything that's been going on, it just hasn't felt genuine and sincere to be so about it. But working more into that, but kind of talking about fashion forward, keeping this whole wave of buying black, buying local, keep pushing on that, because a lot of businesses have seen so much growth, so much love, and I want that to keep going for us. And I think to keep this economy building within our communities, and making ourselves and the people around us, supporting them, doing more for them. And that's really it for me, is just keep buying black, buying local, and really helping our communities and ourselves to boost ourselves up, you know? That's passion forward for me, really. Just keep that going. And, you know, Instagram has been really good for that, and seeing all these different brands and stuff. Kind of do your research sometimes, because a lot of people like to act like they're black owned, but they're not. But just really learning about these brands, and it gives you a different sense of, like, appreciation, understanding that the people that have worked on this have been putting so much, you know, of their love and their sweat and their tears into these products for us. And it's a lot of very for us, by us type of mentality that I want us to keep pushing. So.
Yes. And as we speak on by us, for us, I will say that these pants, I got them at a Juneteenth event that happened maybe 3 years ago, and it was a local Roxburian woman. I can't find the name right now, but before the episode drops, I will find her name. She made these beautiful pants that I have always loved and continue to wear all the time.
And I can tell it took a lot of work. It's just a lot of pieces.
Exactly. Like, just you know. But yeah, she was a local Roxburian that made this, and if you ever go to any Roxbury event, you'll probably see her. And then our jewelry that we every week wear is by Beads by Troken, a Brocktonian local amazing young man named Czar Freeman, who does Beads by Troken. And then this amazing, nice little cup over here that says, "Hay comida en la casa." For those who don't know, it says there's food in the house.
There's food at home.
There's food in the house. Get your broke booty into the house. And then there's like a disclaimer that says, "Handle with care like you should have done with your money." But this was also Me Too. They are a Latino-owned Instagram content creation. So not only are we buying local, but we're buying Black and Latino. And so, anything else that like?
My shirt is from Legendary Roots. My t-shirt last episode is from Legendary Roots, like today. And it's a black-owned business with amazing, amazing products and amazing t-shirts with amazing quotes. I saw on Twitter today, it's an all-black female team. And the quality is great. They're beautiful colors. And they say what we need to have said. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely with it. I have a few t-shirts from them, and I have a cart full of other things I want from them. And also every week they give like a free wallpaper for your phone, and my wallpaper right now says, what does it say? It says, "Rest, you deserve it," and then it just has a girl with an afro. Yeah,
I like that.
so it's very like pro us, doing better for us, very positive, and yes, that's for me.
Woo! And so with Fashion Forward, we go into resonating with she. And we'll close it off with, what are we resonating with? Having been all of the conversations that we've had, plus the things that have been going on during the week, Daphne, what is resonating with she?
Being happy.
I could have seen that coming.
Yeah, being happy and just living, and just, it's been a sad week for a lot of us, and just trying to be happy and live my life, and can't wait to celebrate my birthday. So that's simple for me.
I like it. What has been resonating with she? I will say what has been resonating with she is finding pleasure. I have been finding different ways to find pleasure. I have been really making sure that I am destigmatizing masturbation with the conversations that I have with friends and conversations that I have with myself, and just with everything that is going on, pleasure is necessary. Pleasure is necessary, and I have been looking for self-pleasure and just pleasure in many different avenues, and I have been enjoying it.
I love that. I love that for you a lot. Yes. Anything else resonating with you?
If you haven't done it before, get some sex toys. Masturbation is good for you.
Listen to Eerees.
But I think that's it. That's all that's resonating with me.
Awesome. And I guess, we're here and we've come to the end. And as always, after having great conversations from the soul and great conversations, thank you guys for joining us along this way. This is episode 9. Wow, after all the work we've done, we're at episode 9, soon to be 10, end of season 1. But as always, my name is Daphny Emily.
And I'm Eerees.
And we are Soulful She.
And we always say, he can listen, they can listen, but she is speaking.
And we might be one more drop in the ocean, or it just might be the last sip to quench your thirst.